Never mind. Okay, good. So let's go. What if you remember what I said last time, you want to look at your image and you want to see kind of a tone that's sort of showing up everywhere, right? There's someone else coming now. Okay. Okay, so everybody's back. Right? And we were trying to figure out what the tone is here. And I said that it's not the orange tone, it's really this magenta tone. I don't know if you can see my mouse at all there in the background on my computer.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so it's that magenta tone that shows up throughout the piece, pretty much. Not everywhere, but pretty much everywhere. So the first thing you want to do is, and you want to, the other thing about this technique, as I mentioned last time too, is like you want to work very thin, like your paint should be thinned down. And in transparent, you want to work in transparent layers in the beginning, and then you can start building it up more. So, but you want to start relatively thin, and you want to start sort of with the lightest colors in there as well. And then you can bring the highlights back in, and you will see as we move along there. I already made a pre-painting of this thing earlier this morning, and you will see what I've done there. But you can go in then obviously with more opaque paint and no water and no glazing stuff added, and really cover things up and go in details and whatever, change things around. So, but the whole point is it's layering. Everybody understands that, right? Layering is the key word here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So the first thing, and I'm working on the Bristol, like you guys all work on Bristol too, right? So the first thing I would suggest to do is, hold on, is just use a chip brush, or if you have some wider brush like this, and put a little put water in it. I mean, it's mostly water, and I put a little bit of the glazing medium in there, and I'm just gonna paint that just straight over there like that, just to kind of, it's gonna warp your piece a little bit, but never mind. Everybody has warped pieces most of the time anyway. And the reason you want to do that is because your first thin coat, and you want to spread it out, and you want to get it on pretty even. So you have to tape something up here because it's warping quite a bit. Making the paper wet first means like whatever you put on there, your first coat of paint will not sink right into the paper because it's also a little bit of the medium in there, right? So you will actually have, be able to spread it out more evenly. Okay, and here is my color. Alrighty. Okay. And you can kind of sort of see how I'm able to spread it out pretty nicely and evenly. And my little brush strokes, they kind of disappear a little now, as you can see too. Hold on, I really messed that camera thing up here with that. Wrong way, this way. Can I go up more? Yeah. Okay, that's better again. All right. So, and that is sort of the base tone I have there. Excuse me. Now what you want to do theoretically is like you want to wait for it to kind of dry a little bit. But since we don't have that much time here, and I don't want to wait for that, you can just move on. So now you don't really need this brush right now anymore. You can go to a smaller brush. Does everybody have one of those things? These cheap brushes from the hardware store? I recommend getting them. They're like $2 or so or less. And 2-inch wide is usually pretty good size. So I don't want to wait for it too long to dry. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to use a paper towel and sort of just rub that in there. There we go. All right. So now you may notice that what I was talking about last class, like this tone here in her piece, that magenta, it's sort of everywhere now, right? Okay, now I'm going to continue with this color a little bit, and just bring the drawing that I lost out a little bit back in here and here. So if you lose your drawing, so you may not want to do the wiping thing. That will definitely take the drawing off, like what I did. But I'm not doing photorealism here, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm basically doing a monochromatic thing here right now, painting. Okay. And I'm gonna add a little stronger color now. Okay, so oh yeah, by the way, on my palette I have black, white, magenta, orange, and the wrong blue. For this case, you do want to have a cyan. That will probably be the best blue to have for this. But as I said, I don't have it. So mine is not gonna work out as well. Okay. So just having some fun here with this thing. Good enough. Okay. Oh yeah, I also have, or I thought I had purple. Okay. Now here we have some pretty dark areas. So putting it in, and I'm using the media and then I just blend things in. You see how you can blend very nicely with this? Which you normally can't really, it's much harder to do, right?
Yeah, it keeps it very fluid, it looks like.
Yeah, so because it slows the drying time down and it gives you time to blend things around. So, and see now with the layering up, like the other color I had underneath here is kind of shining through. I'm getting almost kind of a little bit of a look of what's going on here, right? So, and here we go. Let's make that a little more. And here a little more. Okay. So by the way, I'm using the purple now. I'm not using the black because this actually is a purple color right here. It's not black. Black is more in the background here, but this is a really more of a purple tone. And I'm gonna put some more of that in there. Oh crap, see, this is what I made the mistake again. Never mind. I keep looking at the camera thing and then because it reverses it, so I just painted on the wrong side, but never mind. You can see what I'm doing, I assume. I've had that issue before. Okay, now, so the darks were supposed to have gone here, not on the other side. Never mind. Then again, it may not be too late with this thing, see? Because I can actually tap things off again a little bit here. There. Alrighty. Good. I also have this shadow underneath here, and that has sort of a purple tone, so I'm going to just put that in a little. And then I clean my brush in between when I do stuff. So right now I'm cleaning my brush just in water. And then I use a paper towel and kind of get the water out of there a little. And I'll start blending things in. And you see you have time to blend. Normally with your acrylic paints, this would have been dry and I would not have been able.
Yeah, it would have been dry already, yeah, that's nice.
So I would not have been able to blend anymore at this point. But now I am, so there we go. Now let's look not at my camera, let's look here, sorry.
You're just using like a little bit of the retarder, right?
No, I'm not using the retarder, I'm using the glazing material. But the retarder works as well. The retarder does a similar thing. It slows the drying time down, and you get it. So see, I'm actually kind of having already a little bit of a glow going in here now with the light situation and whatnot. So now, let's see, is this somewhat dry? No. Okay. So this would need to dry a little bit now so that it doesn't do the moving anymore. And let's see. All right. So mine will blend a little bit because it's not quite dry. So now let's look at the right side here. So here on this side, there is all this yellow, orangey tone, right? Where I accidentally put the thing, but it's more or less dry. And you can still see what's underneath, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I can really modify the color here and bring that over everywhere I want it. Okay. It's looking better. Okay, there's also a glow of that around there. So I'm gonna actually bring some of that orange like right on the top. And see how I'm getting actually kind of a luminosity. In fact, even though I haven't really done my highlights yet and all this kind of stuff, like really all that detailed. But it's already happening.
Very vibrant.
So, okay. So now I don't even want to use this blue I have because it's just really the wrong blue. So, never mind. Okay. Yeah, sorry about it. I thought I had plenty of colors here, but I had no idea since I haven't used them. But they actually dried up. They usually don't. It's the cheap brands who lasted longer on this, in the tube because they don't have enough pigment. The ones who had more pigments all got really gunky. So anyway. All right. So now at this point, now I was using up to now sort of a pretty big brush. Where's it here? Where's the camera? There we go. All right, it's pretty wide brush. That's about an inch or so. This one. So I'm going to switch to a slightly smaller one now. Now I'm actually going to use a little bit of white and add that to my orange tones. And I'm gonna start looking here at those bright things. Okay. And see if you put these two lines down there, whatever, and it has some of the glazing material in there, I can use my finger. You have to do that quickly, but you can blend things over like that. See that? Okay. And here too. And okay, what is another orange? Okay, good. That's better. And my orange is a little yellow. I don't like it so much. Yeah, that's better. Okay. And as I said, you can kind of blend that over, right? So it's almost more like oil painting in a way, because you get to do more stuff. And again, I'm not doing a photorealistic thing here. I'm just, if you have time and you want to be really exact with your reference and all this kind of stuff, you can spend, of course, a lot more time. This is also going through here a little, right there, right there. And there's a orangey glow underneath here. Okay, and that one is a lot lighter. So I'm gonna add some light. Okay. All right, and I can just blend it right in. I use fingers a lot, by the way. You want to be careful when you use your fingers if you have real cadmium paint, which probably no one has. If you bought the brands, the stuff I told you to buy, you probably won't have that. but real cadmium gets absorbed through the skin and is rather toxic. So don't use your fingers with a real cadmium paint. And definitely don't eat or drink with those. Anyway, getting more of the lights on there. Yeah, no. Well, people don't know that.
No, that is good to know.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, it accumulates in your body, and it's not that you will die right away, but you may end up getting cancer at one point because it accumulates. It's a heavy metal, accumulates in your body over time. And if you've been really not careful all your life as a painter, and I haven't been when I was younger, hopefully I won't get anything, but you never know. Anyway, but you see I'm getting kind of a glow here. It's happening.
Absolutely.
So, all right. I'm going to switch, in a moment to the one I already started earlier. Just want to show you one more thing here on this one. So I'm going back to my bigger brush now. And I really think I'm going to ignore the blue on this one here because, as I said, I don't have the right one. And it just annoys me. So now, in order to get a little bit more light, this is supposed to be really bright here, as you can see in here, right? It's really light and the background is very dark. So here, let's get rid of that black background. I'm going to start with a purple. And just set that in. There we go. And now use the glazing stuff, and I'm just going to go over this a little and made it a little more transparent. Okay. Oh, the other thing too is, like, if you don't like the colors I gave you guys, as I said, you're welcome to change them. So, but just be careful, and you don't have to do photorealism. I mean, your images, some of you had some very complicated ones. So if you don't want to go that crazy, that's okay. All right.
Wow, that contrast makes a huge difference.
Yeah, that's why I'm putting it in now, because you want to see it, and it's really not enough. So I'm going in more with, like, really dark at the edges here. Just sort of put that in. Clean my brush in between. And then use get the water out again, and start sort of fading it over into the other section.
And that's just with a clean brush. That's not with the glaze, or that's dipped in glaze.
No, this is just no. The glaze was in the paint. I don't need more glaze than that. So gotcha. I'm just it's just a cleaned out brush.
Gotcha.
All right. All right, and there you go. All right, and then you can also use your fingers, so if you want it a little smoother. I don't want the brush strokes. There we go. That looks pretty good. That's dramatic. Now I'm using the glaze again a little bit and tone this down even further. Right. So, but that was the other thing about the luminosity, which is why I'm putting this in here now, just to demonstrate that for you, is that you need light and dark contrast. You need to have a good contrast to make something appear luminous. See how this thing's starting to pop a lot more now?
Absolutely.
So, and now at one point, so you can keep going like this till you have sort of an overall thing down. And it can be loose, like what I do, just sort of a loose thing just to get your colors and the glows and the things and that. And after that, you want to start using a detail brush. And like now here, for example, this here, I want that to be really nice and bright. I don't have the exact right color now, but wait a second, you will see that this will fix itself any moment. Okay, that's better. And this here needs to be lighter. And so, and let's put that thing in there. Right. Okay. The other things too, like if you have time, you know, when you do actually have a little bit of time to just remove something with a paper towel or whatever. Okay, here's that. There are these lines. I often use like the back of a brush like this to kind of blend things in. It's a good trick like that.
It's a very good trick.
You know, works well. And I definitely want more light here and more of the brighter pink color that I had in the beginning, which I lost now a little. So in order to get that color back now, the thing you need to do, and I think Alicia mentioned that last class, is like you need to put white down again first. And okay, so here I'm gonna add a little more white there. Okay. And actually this whole section here is a little bit on the dark side. So I'm putting a glaze over there. Just to lighten that whole back end up a little. And also here. I put some of the medium in there and you see how it spreads a lot easier with the medium, with the glazing medium in it. Right? Yeah. I'll just put that. Yeah. Okay. Good enough. Now that should, again, for the glazing to really work better, it's like, and we don't have the time to wait here for stuff to dry, but you want to wait for something like when you have done something like this, and you want to bring a certain kind of tone back, meaning with a transparent glaze, you should wait until it's dry. Or if you have a hair dryer works very well. Personally, I use a heat gun. I love my heat gun from my construction times. Works really well. And then you can go over it right away. Okay. All right, so as I said, I was missing those colors here, and I'm gonna bring them back now. You see, by going over what I just did there with the glaze. See how it integrates it really nicely? Okay, and I want more color here, so I'm just glazing some more over there, you know. Again. Okay, starting to glow, right? Yes or no? Everybody agrees?
Sure.
Yes.
Or are you all kind of in awe of my fabulous painting skills? I've done this before. Anyway, times have changed. Anyway, so once you're at this point, and you know, I mean, I do have kind of the glow now. I basically achieved. I could leave it alone, right? I kind of achieved what I was going for, like to get a good, transparent luminosity. Sorry, not transparency. But the thing is, you can then go really very, very much more detailed. And that's really a matter of time now. You can really go in there and start doing a lot more corrections and detailed work on the whole thing. So Anyway, so, but I think you got the idea. I'm going to put these little things in here just to give it a little focus. There we go. Yeah. And then you can strengthen the shadows more and whatnot. And I would probably put a shadow underneath here to make that sit a little bit more in space and so forth. And, okay, so that was sort of step one in this process. So everybody, let me ask you, everybody kind of understood what I was just doing here?
Yes.
Now that you
Yes.
saw the
Yes.
process?
Yeah.
So this makes more sense now, like what I said last class, right? About,
So,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
did you put the glazing medium in with the paint when you did it originally?
On the very first coat, no, I just put water with a tiny bit of the glazing medium in there. It kind of seals the paper a little bit too, which is why this is not drying super fast. It actually gives you a little even more time, so it doesn't sink right in. But it doesn't give you too much time. See, it's almost there now. Yeah, it's almost dry. Yeah.
But then you did mix it in the paint later on, as you did the pumpkin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And like, what ratio of glazing medium to paint are you using? Is it just kind of how thin you want it?
I
or how
usually
thick you want the
just dip it in there, you know, like take my brush, you know, I don't know if you can see my palette here. Kind of, I guess. Yeah. But, so here I only have this little bit of glazing medium here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's very small. I'd say it's like a square
Gotcha.
inch, and I just dip my brush into it, and then I mix it on the palette, mix it with the paint to get the right kind of consistency.
Got it. Okay.
So,
Perfect.
alrighty. Okay. Now I want to show you one more thing though, and then I go to the other one that I already started. Or maybe I can show you that on the other one. Yeah, show it on the other one. Okay, so I'm going to take this one down. Okay. So that was my first attempt this morning, and you see how my blue is completely wrong. It's really not the right blue. Don't like it. Anyway. But here I did work a lot more. I put a lot more glazes here over the whole thing. I put more of the orange glazes, and I worked on details a little bit more. So, you know, you see that how this is more advanced than this one. This is more sketchy, and this is a little more already.
Sure.
Now there is a thing like if you and I'm gonna try it. Let's see, even with the wrong blue, but let's see. Good luck. So I'm putting my brush into the glazing medium. Because another thing I want everybody to know, and I may just mess this up totally now, is like if you don't like what you've done, or you want to have an overall a completely different tone to your piece, here's what you can do.
Madness.
That's scary.
And then you take a paper towel. But only do this once you have a coat of paint everywhere.
Otherwise, it's going to stick into the paper. Oh, wow, look at that.
Okay. There we go. See, now I have a very different mood to the whole piece. And you can do that with any color. You can kind of change the whole thing up. What that does is it's like if you use a overall glaze like over an entire piece, and then if you put a little water on, you get more of an atmosphere. So you want to use a paper towel, and you can wipe things off. So see, I wiped it off here and where I had my highlights already.
Oh, yeah.
So now I don't know if you remember what it looked like before and what it looks like now. Anyway, this is, I mean, it seems scary, but the other thing again too, if you do it really quickly, you can actually get most of it off. Pretty much all of it if you do it really quickly. See? So that's where it was. And then you can say, wait a minute, no, I don't really want it, but that's not what I want. and go a different direction. There we go.
This is not good for my anxiety.
What? And go like, okay, that looks a lot better now. Now I like it. And get your highlights out. Yeah. You know, and get some textures in there. Actually, I like it now.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yep. Okay, I think I want to leave it like this. There we go. Still have the luminosity. Okay, I'm gonna. And you can also go into the wet stuff now and you know, add some more lights. Whatever. Or little stars. Whatever you want to do. All right. Anyway, this is something like theoretically, actually, and I recommend, by the way, now that I give you this demonstration, I'm teaching a in-person, sadly, but in-person class, painting class on the Northwest Campus, and I hope everybody will sign up for it. And
It's spring semester.
yeah, spring semester.
Yeah, cool.
I need this class to run, and often with color composition used to be a prerequisite. It's not anymore, but I hope that you guys will be to see you. I would hope to see you in class, in a real class. Maybe not a real class. We'll see where this pandemic is going. We don't know.
Yeah, really.
But anyway. Here we go. That's kind of interesting now. And again, if you really don't like what you've done, you can do it. Theoretically, with glazes, you can put as many glazes on as you want and change your thing. The one thing that you need to remember is that you often, when you do this, like you saw that in the beginning, that you use your highlights and stuff like this, but you can bring them back in. You know, can really, whatever, bring them back in or make this something completely different. There we go. Very nice. Okay. On that note, I think that's about all I want to demonstrate. I want to wipe it off again just for the demonstration purposes. All right. So there is plenty of time to kind of change things, and yeah. All right, we're back to where we were. So that's why I'm showing you this. It's like really lose your fear. You know, don't be afraid. You know, just let's try things out. And the worst thing that can happen is like you wait too long to wipe things off, and you hate it what you've done, and then you messed up your piece. Well, that's the worst thing that can happen. Nothing worse can happen than messing it up completely. That should be comforting to know. All right.